Well, hey campers, as we've been going around and discussing the hashtag follow, and we've been going and talking to different people about how they've accepted that call to follow God and what they've done with that call in interesting ways. And so I'm here with Mr. Dale Holzbauer. He's one of my professors at CCU. So if you haven't liked this week's of camp, it's probably his fault. But we're going to go and share a little bit of his story. But before we do that, let me show you a little what he does in a video clip here. I've known you from college. You were one of my professors. But could you tell us about the moment you decided to take the call to follow God and what that was like for you?
Yeah, when I was born with a bad aortic valve. They called it a hole in the heart back then. And I got rheumatic fever, and my parents were told that I would only live 2 or 3 years. And so when I was 15 years old, I was sitting in a geometry class, and I had just been fired from a job, and the job was just carrying people's groceries out to their car. But I was so little and so weak that I couldn't do it very well, and so the boss fired me. So that day, I sat down in geometry class, I got a piece of paper out and a pencil, and I wrote a contract with God. And it was very simple. I was just 15 years old. But the contract was that I would not do drugs, I would not use alcohol, I would not use tobacco. I would take care of myself, and if anything came of it, I would give it back to God. Then when I was 16 years old, I was sitting at a camp, Christian camp, and a fellow by the name of Marshall Leggett was preaching. And he called for boys who wanted to give their lives to ministry. Well, I was baptized on June 6, 1958, when I was 11. And that night I told God I wanted to be a preacher. So I put those two things together. The physical side of things, I wanted to be able to do something that involves strength or whatever. And I wanted to be a minister. And since that time, in Olympic weightlifting, and in powerlifting, and in martial arts, and in full contact fighting, knockout wins, I've put on more than 600 demonstrations across the country, and then give a testimony about Christ. I'll be 74 years old time you see this. I've been in lots of jails and schools and churches and civic organizations, and it's been great. So really at age 11, became a Christian. At age 16, I said I want to preach. And at age 15, I said I want to get strong and use that some way for the kingdom of God. And God has really blessed that. So at age 59, I got a new aortic valve, and the doctors told me in no uncertain terms that had I not taken care of myself all those years, I wouldn't have lived very long. But as a matter of fact, the heart sort of rewired itself and improved because of the exercise. And then when the valve began to calcify, I had it replaced. The good thing is I went right back to training, and like I say, that was 15 years ago, and I just went right back to training. Within 2 weeks, I was lifting soup cans.
Okay, yeah.
To get back strong, and As of today, I've succeeded at powerlifting, set 9 American records. I was in the top 3 in Olympic weightlifting in the 114-pound class for many years, and I've achieved a 7th degree black belt.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great journey.
So what has been your favorite part of using that and ministering to different people?
I think my favorite part is going into churches with young people and watching them kind of catch the vision that you don't have to be, enormous. I'm 5 feet 2 inches tall. You don't have to be the big guy to succeed. That means a lot to some people. But even the big people, I challenge them. You can even be better. And less people think that. That's been my whole ministry. Discipline carries over to me, to the mind too. And I have 5 college degrees. I have 3 master's degrees and a doctorate in addition to my bachelor's. So I love to study the Bible. I love to learn. I love to teach. And what I did even as a kid is divide myself into 3 categories, which everybody knows: the mind and the body and the spirit. Spirit first, the spirit, and then the mind, and then take care of your body. And so far it's worked out very well.
So through all that, what was one of the things that was probably the most difficult for you?
Probably the most difficult for me is linking the fighting with Christianity. That's a little difficult. But when you know that the person over there is your opponent, not your enemy, that's a big difference. And when you can be a sportsman about it and follow the rules, it's okay. That's fine. And aside from that, just the daily grind of discipline. I mean, if you're going to reach the top in a sport, as you know from your running, you have to diet, exercise, routine, goals, and you just have to keep at it. And it's the same in the Christian life. It's you have to stay at it, stay with it, and don't stop moving, don't give up. Follow the Lord, let Him set the pace. And I don't look to the right or the left. I follow Him, and it's been very good.
Well, would you have anything to say to our people watching here?
Yeah, I would say, especially for the young people watching, you got a lot of life ahead of you statistically. If you can, and I'm not putting anybody down, but if you can really behave yourself and focus on the Lord, from age 12 or 13 to about age 22 or 23, by the time the amygdala is all fully developed, you'll be very wise to do that. Don't be led astray by what some other youngsters may say. Keep your feet on the path. Luke 9:62 says that once you put your hands to the plow, don't look around. We're not fit for the kingdom. So when you're young, don't let anybody look down on you when you're young. Paul said that to Timothy. But stay strong and don't be led astray by temporary things, but keep your eyes on the eternal.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Yes, sir.